Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So I've been dying to get my hands on this new foundation from Physicians Formula. This is their healthy foundation. This is getting a ton of buzz online. And I literally was stalking CVS and Ulta waiting for the display to come out. I feel like it took forever to get into my stores, but finally got my mitts on it. So I'm super excited to try it out. Now this is in the shade LN4. And it's supposed to be, let's see, it's packed with vitamins and also antioxidants, so it's going to give you nice coverage. Also, apparently it's supposed to be pretty luminous, which is nice. It also has hyaluronic acid and some type of Chinese extract. I'm not even going to attempt to say what the name is, but it sounds absolutely lovely. And it's also ultra blendable. They say it's lightweight, buildable, and breathable. So it's what I have on my face now, and what I'm going to do next is I will show you the different shades, I will show you how this applies, and then you won't see me for a couple days, because when it comes to foundation, instead of doing like a check-in at the end of the day, what I've been liking to do instead is check in after like day 3 of wearing a foundation, and that's because I've noticed with me, sometimes I try something and I love it, and day 2 I hate it, or vice versa. Day 1, I hate it. Day 2, I like it. So we're just gonna do a 3-day check-in. That way I'll have a pretty good idea of how I think this foundation works. And also, Physicians Formula is cruelty-free, which I absolutely love. And this retails for $12.99, but I've seen it other places for $14.99, but it's in that range. Okay, so $14.95 on their website, and it comes in 16 shades. Okay, so I already primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. I use this all the time, and I'm going to apply it with a beauty sponge, my Real Technique sponge that is really dirty right now and probably should be clean, but oh well. So again, this is the foundation, and I did crack this open yesterday. I didn't swatch it or anything, but I just wanted to look at it, if that makes sense. And the first thing I noticed is this is straight up paint. This is Sherwin-Williams bare paint on your face. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, that very strong scent. So let's see here. Also curious about this shade. It's one thing I hate about drugstore foundations is I wish that they had testers, because it's like impossible to tell what your shade is. All right, here we go. It's blending very nicely. Pretty effortlessly, actually. I think the shade is maybe a hair too light for me, but we'll make it work. In terms of the coverage, I would say medium. I mean, upon first application, medium. It's not covering up everything, but it's close. It's maybe medium to full. Medium to full, let's say that. All right, it's sitting really, really nicely on the skin. It's actually more like the type of foundation that sinks into the skin, so it looks like you're not wearing anything, kind of. So that I definitely like. It doesn't feel heavy at all, which is interesting given how thick the consistency is. And it has almost like a, kind of like a whipped texture to it. It's thick and kind of whippy. But, I mean, so far so good. It's not, you know, some foundations you put on and immediately it starts misbehaving. This isn't doing any of that around the nose, around the smile lines, or on the forehead. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish putting on my face, and then I will check in and see you guys in a little bit. I was downstairs playing around with my lighting in my studio, and I know I said I wasn't going to check in on day 1 and talk about whether or not I loved or hated this foundation, but I could not help but notice how lovely this looks on camera, and so I figured I'd capitalize on vanity and show you. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And this foundation has been on now for like 9 hours, and it hasn't done anything weird, it hasn't misbehaved, nothing. So I will still check in after 3 days, but I just wanted to show you up close under the lights what this looks like. It's beautiful. Okay, so I've had this foundation on now for 3 days, and first of all, I think I need to go exchange the color for a different shade, because it's just like a little off to the point where I would look at myself in the mirror and think, you look like you're getting sick, but that's not them, that's me. In terms of the wearability, it's super comfortable. You can't feel it. It doesn't settle. It doesn't cake. I thought it did a really, really nice job. One weird thing though is I always use a little bit of foundation on my eyelids right after I prime them to help keep my eyeshadow in place, and I guess because of the SPF in this formula, it burned the hell out of my eyelids. So that's something I guess to keep in mind if your skin is super sensitive to SPF. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would say this is a pretty good deal for what was it, like 15 bucks this foundation, or $12 depending on where you find it. So loving it. If you decide to try it, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.